every players out ubeja ubia chese or no one home more than Manchester United ever since he turned in about Manchester no, he has been that kind of player. He has stayed consistent, and then the performance of them Manchester United no HSA definitely so we now one of few players be a Manchester United squad nim you can easily get one particular player. He has stayed consistent for the past 4 seasons for Manchester United, irrespective of the performance. In the past 4 seasons, Manchester United, in the English Premiership, and even in the Champions League and any other competitions, or Metima find myself for the football club. There's this particular guy in the performance consistently, was stay consistent with Manchester United, and that is Bruno Fernandes, the kind of performance of them Manchester United in the last 4 seasons. And then as the best player for Manchester United in the season 2024-2025 season, and Waji this particular award consistently for 4 years now. Ever since he turned the Sporting Lisbon, 55 million euros plus 25 million euros add-ons are Manchester United Ecuador Papa Francis Bruno Fernandes and then by the side of Manchester United. No, a lot of people were saying Sporting Lisbon are brand from Portuguese league now over Manchester United, the English Premiership. No, he wouldn't be able to make sure so beat him about Manchester United. But when he came, the first 10 matches are about Edema Manchester United. No, he was able to make 4 assists and he was able to score 3 goals for Manchester United in his first 10 games. And on send a lot of signals for Manchester United or more Ankasa technical management and even the supporters of Manchester United say player no mutisi Caicedo ko turn if Sporting Lisbon and the buy no when given opportunity, when given enough time, the development Edema Manchester United no can easily make sure say he can play very well. At the end of that first debut season of Manchester United, no, it wasn't about ball nor boy, but it is about the kind of ratings the man on the field of play. You wouldn't see Bruno Fernandes say all a lot of unflamboyant football on the field of play, but you see Bruno Fernandes say as a cheerleader for the United players on the field of play. So Omunya that kind of qualities in him. Say even after Harry Maguire, money that's all about Manchester United. That's a Manchester United team in Bruno Fernandes can easily become the next captain for Manchester United because on the field of play and on everything our body about Manchester United, no, he has been able to do very well for Manchester United. Made the picture be my Gilbert and Rasobinia Diamamia. If it's about Manchester United, no, in the last 4 seasons, our Manchester United, no, you can easily imagine. Say when you talk about tackles, on one side Manchester United on the field of play, it has been 346 tackles. And when we talk about tackles successively at the Manchester United in the likes of Bruno Fernandes, it has been 57% for the side of Bruno Fernandes. Short on one as a midfielder, also on the position on the field of play, he can sometimes be played as a traditional box-to-box midfielder, and sometimes he can also be played as a typical number 10 or number behind the main opposing striker, Obo, at Manchester United. No, but then as a box-to-box midfielder, one of the things that was so against the opponent will be the block shot in the midfield just to help the typical number 6 or Obo Ediamau in the Manchester United Football Club. And then the block shot with Manchester United in the past 4 seasons, I watch it consistently in about player of the month about Manchester United no has been 158 block shotter when you're Manchester United. Interceptions only for Manchester United under Bruno Fernandes no has been 131. Clearances has been 195. And then duels won on the field of play has been 803 duels won the winner Edema Manchester United. But then when talk about the favorite starter Manchester United under Bruno Fernandes, with my Manchester United that in 2019-2020 season he had 20 goal contributions for the side of Manchester United. Then talk about 2020-2021 season. He had 46 goal contributions, goals plus assists for Manchester United as a box-to-box midfielder and also as a creativa for the side of Manchester United. Then 2021-2022, he had 23 goal contributions for the side of Manchester United. In 2022-2023, he had 27 goal contribution. 2023-2024 season, he has 17 goal contribution, and even this season, one double-digit numbers are Manchester United this particular season. You Manchester United, or change Eric Ten Hag, Akofa Ruben Amorim, and in the free Portuguese league flight in Edenabano, he has been able to make sure say Obetimi Abuboni, Ediama Ruben Amorim, under Ruben Amorim, and even the side of Eric Ten Hag, he has been that instrumental player in the midfield of Manchester United, with him champion the course at their moment. Goals and assists for this season only. He has made 46 first in Manchester United on one Kasani Football Club. Now, among any other players on Manchester United, no, Bruno Fernandes has contributed 48 goals plus assists for Manchester United and Oye first on that particular radar. In terms of goals scored, 29 goals scored and Oye third on that particular radar. When we talk about assists, 29 assists Oye first in Manchester United. Shots, 174 shots. Second for the side of Manchester United. Chances created close to about 1,340 in the side of Manchester. It tells you, say, Bruno Fernandes as a basic player for Manchester United, you wouldn't get players or mobile money than Manchester United, but then Bruno Fernandes has actually stand tall for Manchester United midfield, and then he has been able to play very well for Manchester United. Check the numbers now on Manchester United or midfield no. Ubenya Casemiro, a good, well-experienced midfielder, born in the Real Madrid Football Club, winning the Champions League back-to-back, the man married, winning the La Liga, winning everything for Manchester United, for Real Madrid Football Club. No. When Alba Manchester United, for me particularly, I thought Alba no, and the midfield problem na Manchester for facing in the recent years post schools age how the core, you know. Now I think Casemiro would be that particular immediate player Alba into the midfield of Manchester United and could solve that particular problem. No. But it got to a point in time, the first 5 games of Manchester United, no, he was very good on that. But then the close partnership and with Bruno Fernandes and allow no man successful enough because of so only Bruno Fernandes in the typical maintenance or no was a tradition number 8. A lot of interceptions, a lot of block shots, a lot of space to be created. Typical number 6 no, is actually enough for any other player be finding the silver or together with the side of Bruno Fernandes. So checking Manolo Gatti numbers or Manchester United all against the side of Bruno Fernandes. You can easily imagine say when only Bruno Fernandes in the midfield of Manchester United he has been able to do it very well, and then he has been able to make sure say even among Omonombo in the midfield no so look at Kobe Maino, all body Manchester from last season, Eric Ten Hag introduced into the midfield. It was a certain Bruno Fernandes and not only did that particular midfield no, and making sure that the experienced nature on one kasa as a midfielder, he can easily help Kobe Maino to become a stable midfielder with my support for him to become a quality midfielder in the midfield shape of Manchester United. And Bruno Fernandes consistently was still consistent for about 4 seasons to 5 seasons to 6 seasons. He has been able to make sure say obetimi amma Manchester United on midfield epic, and then he will be that main instrumental player. He can easily play in any other top 5 league clubs. Manchester United team that it is only Bruno Fernandes or Manchester City biabo. It is only Bruno Fernandes or Real Madrid Football Club biabo or Barcelona biabo because of the performance of the Manchester United. 193 appearances when you're Manchester United, which is 62 goals as a midfielder, and 94 wins when you're the other side of Manchester United, and 53 defeats when you're the other side of Manchester United. So out of 193 performances now when you're the Manchester United, no, so you know Manchester, and 94. And a Manchester it may win it. Then you talk about the goals per match or the side of Manchester United. The goals per match for Manchester United has been 0.32 for Bruno Fernandes as a player for Manchester United. Headed goals in terms of usually the goals it has been 3. Goals with right foot has been 54. Goals with left foot has been 5, and penalties scored has been 22 for the side of Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. But then, yeah, can say no. So, who see the side of Bruno Fernandes as a creative, one particular thing, the man here, and then the dance room with other midfielders, no, will be the passes of Bitimabo in the particular match. In about 193 appearances when you're the Manchester United, no, the passes per match when you're the Manchester United has been 54.1% for Manchester United. So, Manchester air ball, that's the Bruno Fernandes anymore. Big chance of meeting creating less, and it has been 0.16. So Bruno Fernandes age na Manchester United game that's all bad. Big chance of Manchester beating Macretino is always 3.5% for Manchester United. So big chances be a Manchester United or more in attacking front. So we use a force number 9. So we ball no as a force number 9. And LB one in a ball in any more the front attacking third of Manchester United. No big chances created per game. Be a one Yandiama Manchester United. No, it has been 3 points. So it tells you say he is the big man for the side of Manchester United. So Manchester United elbow most of these matches in the last 4 in the DIABY. Unya enkaye kase obi ye crosses and Kabine is a right full back cut in a lot of long crosses into the attacking box. Let full back be a lot of long crosses into the attacking box. But a certain Bruno Fernandes had made close to about 934 crosses into the attacking yard box for the side of Manchester United. And in terms of true balls are they are making a lot of things that Manchester in terms of breaking line passes from the midfield into the zone 14 of the opponent has been 134 balls breaking line passes for Manchester United. A move 74 anything record anymore for most of these attackers for them to score that particular goal for Manchester United. It tells you say the team that was currently as we speak for Manchester United So Ruben Amorim, the first time in history for Manchester United, now obey fairly consistently, consecutively in Premier League games, 8 matches. That's you get a certain the side of Bruno Fernandes. He can easily score that number of goals for the side of Manchester. But Enra, Manchester United and Chelsea game let me too, Jano. You can easily imagine say for Jenny Ekano, Manchester football no boy, they were not playing the ball out of heart say or more game against Chelsea football because they only know say they have a certain Europa League finals on the ball. And Omo Kwakobo against Tottenham Hotspur, they have it all out. So when we against Tottenham Hotspur, they can easily go into the Champions League or meet him about Manchester United, and Manchester United will come back into the European football meeting about. But anyway, the starting lineup I told you about Manchester United against Chelsea Football Club, you can easily get it in a moment. So about the 3-5-2 system, and I say the 3-4-2-1 system about the side of Manchester United, and they got Luke Shaw, Obisa Harry Maguire, and Victor Lindelof as the 3-back position for Manchester United. In fifth one was Dogu, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and the Ruben Mazraoui and all in that particular inverted right full back position for the side of Manchester United. And Mason Mount, any Diallo, Ebo as the double number 8 and Mujini Manchester, and then Rasmus Hojlund was the main force number 9 Mujini Mudiama the side of Manchester United. Me who tactical line up them who say no. So Ubo Obia or Nube shaping a 3-back system, and yeah, certain Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw or an injury prone player. And the fitness level are ordinable in a 3-back position. Or here Obia or yeah on the energy in the washroom. Or here Obia in terms of speed, the speed in the washroom. And look so recovery rate in the fear what's natural. Ain't me permitting a man about that particular 3-back because so person who look so yeah, Obo 4-backer. And the Benya look so ye at Manchester United. We won't 3-back and said there will be a basic problem for the side of Manchester United or Metro and Enra with that kind of attackers the side of Enzo Maresca. As you said, the match Chelsea Football Club, we saw the kind of things na Pedro Neto Kupama and the Noni Modweke and even George Anonunji anymore as a force number 9 the match Chelsea Football Club. We saw how they were tormenting the defensive structure of Chelsea Football Club of Manchester United club. Na it's all on board the 3-back na intimate function from the side of Manchester United. Then talk about the midfield of Chelsea. Enzo Fernandes and then Moises Caicedo has been the solid 2 partnership. Enzo Maresca feels over for Chelsea Football Club. We use and it is telling you say in the next season to come, they will try as much as possible to try to say omit a lot of midfielders into the midfield of Chelsea Football Club. Romeo Lavia, that particular player, when he comes in, he is a direct ball player. When he gets the ball, similar like Conor Gallagher, no new Jabona in the side of Mauricio Pochettino, no or using in the more direct football play, you get the same thing from Romeo Lavia. But then so that Romeo Lavia and Enzo Fernandes more in the midfield for Chelsea Football Club and said when said Enzo Enyabona, he tried to progress the ball and then he tried to create a lot of chances. In terms of long chances away to make Chelsea Football Club, it has been 54 ever since was stepping in at the Chelsea Football Club. And then he tried to progress the ball very well, unlike Romeo Lavia. In terms of ball progressions, Olusu Ewo, you get Enzo Fernandes who can easily progress the ball and making sure say Moises Caicedo no one or allow Moises Caicedo to cover all the centric midfield of Chelsea Football Club in the midfield. So he gives him that free role position to play for the side of Chelsea Football Club. And they were able to dominate in that particular possession against Manchester United. So we'll hear the second picture with the Mark Gilberta. This is Moises Caicedo. The last game of Bonema at the side of Chelsea Football Club, he was being used as a right full back. But then he was able to get a lot of numbers for Chelsea. And Enra, he was being used as a deep line playmaker in a solid midfield against the side of Enzo Fernandes. And then the ratings for the side of Chelsea Football Club, it was unpredictable. 86 passing accuracy for the side of Chelsea Football Club. We can both consecutive games for the side of Chelsea Football Club, close about 13 games, and the passing accuracy for them Chelsea Football Club in the last 13 games has been 86 passing accuracy. So this time around, it's not only about the destructive mentality of Moises Caicedo, it's not only about the tackling, it's not only about the interceptions, it's not only about you use a lot of energy to bully the opponent on your mobile in the midfield. But when it comes to the passes, Enzo Maresca has added a lot of quality to the football style of the side of Moises Caicedo ever since he was stepping in as a coach for Chelsea Football Club. We're adding a lot of passing accuracy at the other side of Moises Caicedo. So come Manchester City, now so heroic as Cantina or Bonabona. It's not only about as a number 6, or ball not running, but sometimes he needs to make incisive passes. He needs to make a lot of generational passes from the midfield to the attacking third of Manchester City. And Enubi and Obi to say Moises Caicedo Timothy they free the side of Enzo Maresca, and it tells you that he has been able to do that particular thing. In terms of passes completed, Emra, or completely 50 passes are completely at the side of Chelsea Football Club. 4 out of 7 successive long balls generated the Chelsea Football Club. 4 tackles and 1 shot blocked the Chelsea Football Club in the midfield. It tells you say Enzo Maresca this season in common from Chelsea Football Club in the English Premiership. But when it comes to individual brilliance or these particular kind of players, it shows that potentially in the next subsequent season to come, projects now Chelsea, these players can easily do that job for Chelsea Football Club in the next seasons to come. But and then the FA Cup in the bit so. The first time in history, Crystal Palace ever go into the final and then they will make sure say Ometi may win major trophy in the lifetime of Crystal Palace. Italia. Hector Bellerin is Real Betis. This is also finals. Onoka Okobo Barcelona kakenti wajidi mkuru ani bikakra. It was at the core. The new bianeka. Omonia mana club philosophy. Osi club philosophy. And tinam new bianeka omonia mana na echire ya. De omoyo ma bra. Very DIABY. So Manchester City so 8 omit compete for 8th title in the FA Cup. Whilst Crystal Palace able to compete for the first major trophy in the lifetime of the football club. So Crystal Palace image against Manchester City, it will be a history for the football club. Because if it's Crystal Palace, it's a football club, no, major trophy that. But with Manchester City, almost 8th time in the FA Cup, going in that particular final, but then, so we'll check Pep Guardiola, and in the morning we'll against Crystal Palace. In the last 15 games, we'll against Crystal Palace, he has been able to dominate with 10 wins. 2 wins spent at Crystal Palace and 3 draws spent in this particular both clubs for themselves. It tells you, say, in terms of total dominance for Pep Guardiola meeting against Crystal Palace, what dominated Crystal Palace, baby obession be dominating. And this time around, when the side of those kind of games are on the side of Manchester City, elbow against the side of Crystal Palace. You can easily imagine, say, meeting Crystal Palace at any moment, he can easily dominate against the side of Manchester United. In the last 15 games, Manchester City are dominated 13, and check it dominance. In the last 20, is our 20 what? So 26 games, 18 wins, 5 draws, and 3 wins for the side of Crystal Palace. So it tells you, say, in the last 15 games, Manchester City, they were still dominating. And in the last 26 games for the side of Manchester City. They've dominated for 18 wins, 5 draws, and 3 wins for the side of Manchester City. It tells you that this game will be a dominant game by Manchester City.
When I outcome never a moment who did. Was there now 70 something years now Newcastle United and J trophy na waje and a Bologna against AC almost 51 years or my babaji we so can okaza obunje major trophy the end to say ade dey ra
and they say
Champions League
and they say Tottenham since 1971
and I make say na make e be kwa European
there Crystal Palace je now to announce the Tottenham akwakoji
e ba le yo wa
na Real Betis she Chelsea
e ma ne yo wa
na PSG
na PSG so akoji
Inter forces so muzengu
ma ne yo abi also as a man show outcome na ba na ehu and I who study here
oh my study
Newcastle 70 or na pa Newcastle akwakoji ye the Bologna na no bi a share am more chance bia we the Milan e be fa no wa ba beje that situation ni bi ni o oh we all there ye say the ade one no
di ye come
no unzo 18 keze bora ni mra onzo no na ye dey afa on ya make ka messages mra na mo hwe number so ma me still confirm ni say Lami Yama na wo say ye dey web best na ma no na ye koba na afia tiasi mu fie na ye di nkomo kakra ma onzo nei on YouTube. Good morning, Fakye.